Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Georgia, can we have a little chat? Because you've confused me in the past. You elected this man after he, as Secretary of State of Georgia, ditched people's votes for no other reason than, well, let's be honest, he didn't want to lose the governorship to a black woman. Over 100,000 votes were not counted. Those people's votes, in a country where everybody vote count, they were voided. And the guy that won the governorship was in charge of the voting.
I'm Brian Kemp. This is Jake.
Yes, sir.
Jake asked why I was running for governor. I said, 1,
suppress votes.
and
No black woman running for office in Georgia.
Sir.
we're going to get along just fine.
Brian Kemp for governor.
Cool, that sounds totally real. Now, let's talk about this void. Herschel, then why are there still apes? Walker.
Science said man came from apes. If that is true, why are there still apes?
A man with such little understanding of everything, he thought we were sending our good air to China and getting their bad air. He said this out loud to people.
Our good air decided to float over to China, bad air. So when China gets our good air, their bad air gotta move. So it moves over to our good air space.
You know, there is not a what the fuck loud enough to respond to his statement. And this is just one in a series of, frankly, the stupidest things I've heard a politician say since this guy mused about the country injecting bleach to stop a virus.
Supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, very powerful light disinfectant, and is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning?
Here's another one of Herschel Genius's CTE-infused brain flatulence.
They continue to try to fool you like they're helping you out, but they're not. They're not helping you out because a lot of the money is going into trees. You know that, don't you? It's going into trees. We got enough trees. Don't we have enough trees around here?
I get it. And here's the weird part. The man, Herschel, how many kids do I have? I forgot Walker, is running close in the polls to a brilliant orator, a man with a master's degree and a doctorate who just happens to be a senior pastor at a church since 2015. Have you heard the Reverend Warnock speak? Jesus shows up and brings MLK as his +1.
These politicians in the state legislature have already laid the tracks to take over local boards of elections.
Warnock is all the right wing says it stands for. A man with integrity, a man who pulled himself up by his bootstraps and made something of himself. A true American and a bona fide Christian. Not one of these nationalistic Christians or Nazis, as they like to be called. He's a good man, a righteous man, yet somehow this mumble-mouth moron who is reported to have paid for multiple abortions while he claims he's against abortion, who has said out loud that he's mentally ill, who has said he's not a smart man, whose ex-wife said
he held a gun to my temple and said he was going to blow my brains out.
And he responded to this horror show of accusations by saying, the past is the past. I think that was also Jeffrey Dahmer's defense. Yesterday, ex-NRA shill and horror of super beats, Dana Loesch, said on her podcast,
I don't care if Herschel Walker paid to abort endangered baby eagles. I want control of the Senate.
I am the Senate.
Is this where you are, Republicans? That this nightmare of a damaged, literally brain damaged human is who you want to be leader in Georgia? Do you not have any love for your state or your country? And you complain all the time, we're too divided. You Democrats are dividing us. And then you vote for this? Is it because you want the Senate in Republican hands again?
Herschel was brought in to be somebody to build off of when there was nothing else to build with.
Because that's a good call. Because the last time the Senate was in Republican hands, they gave rich people billions, added $7 trillion to the debt, voted down health care and the minimum wage, and they voted against infrastructure. Then they screwed up the pandemic so bad 1 million died, store shelves were empty, and we were locked in our houses. Good call, Republicans. Let's put the people that broke it in charge of breaking it again. Do you really think this dude's going to help this? Do you, or are you just doing it to own the libs?
They never really wanted to use me. Rather figured out how to use me. I think the way you use me is just let me play football.
Because if you vote in Herschel, I send lots of people money for abortions. Walker, you're not owning the libs. You're owning yourselves.
He has 4 kids, 4 different women, wasn't in the house raising one of them.
That's his kid. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. How stupid are we as a country? For God's sakes, if he was a Democrat, I wouldn't vote for him. I would Darth Vader over this guy.